So good day class. So today we're going to discuss about the structural base section and plumbing layout for our building technology lecture this week. So last week, I think your activity was to submit the structural base section of the house plan I gave earlier for the midterm. And then, okay, so we're going to define what the base section is. What is a structural base section? So bay in architecture is any division of a building between vertical lines or planes, especially the entire space including between two adjacent supports. Thus, the space between two columns or pilasters, or from pier to pier in a church, including that part of the vaulting or ceiling between them, is known as a bay. So this is an example of a base section. So your base section does not, since it's structural base section, doesn't mean that it should be planned. So you should also follow the alphabet of lines. Then you can also add some color. Then you might add the specifications of the type of materials which you will use for the project. Okay. Then you can also add here some anthropometric references, such as the human figures. Okay. So the human figures, they provide a grasp on how tall the project is, without looking into the dimensions. And the next thing after that is I'm going to show you the plumbing layout of an actual project here in the Philippines, so that you can use that as a point of reference to crafting your wastewater and water line layout for your plumbing. Okay. So you have a separate subject for plumbing, maybe the second semester or when you are reaching your third years. So you would specifically focus on the computations and how large your septic tanks will be, and how you're going to compute the pipe sizes. So that's a different topic later on. In my subject, we're going to look at the plumbing layout on how it is drawn in the context of your drawing or construction documents. So at least you have a basic idea of what's in the plumbing plans. So the plumbing system or the waste management system was structured, and when you compare that with the anatomy of the human body, it is the urinary and waste disposal system. Okay? So we'll only have two lectures this week. If you have any questions, class, please don't hesitate to ask, and I can be reached anytime. And I will always reply as long as I'm online on Facebook or in my email. Okay, so let's start with our lecture for today.
The base section, you can even see the footing here, the design of the footing. But in this one, which was prepared by a structural engineer, we only showed the column up to the roof. So you can see here where the roof beam is. Okay. Then you can also see the design of the roof. Okay. So it's 2 by 3 by 1 4 length space at 0.60 on center. And this is 0.60. Okay. Then we also have seam block roofing from Union Galvanized in the specifications. Then for the rafters, we're going to use hollow rectangular rafter. And this portion here, this is the firewall. Then we have here a fascia or stiffener, and some hardy flexage attached to underbar. And also here you can see the detail for the basket drain and the hidden gutter. Okay, so this is an example class of a base section, so it's not that hard. Okay. As you can also observe class in this plan, you can't. It's really full. So I've noticed that some of you, when you do your plans, when you draw, there's a lot of empty spaces. Okay, so when you make your plans class, it's much better if the entire layout is filled with details. Okay, so it looks good also. So this is a retaining wall section detail, because you have a retaining wall here, because the location of the lot is in a slope terrain. Okay, so this is the section. and wall footing. As you notice, it is L-type because this is the portion where there is a firewall. Okay, so this is the CHP, this is the finish floor line. Okay, then you have here the fascia frame detail. Okay, then the one-way slab section detail. Okay, so the design of the one-way slab is designed by the structural engineer that you will get for the project. But I think when you reach your 4th year, 5th year, you're going to have a subject related to structural design. Then here we have our roof framing plan. Okay, so this is just a simple roof framing plan because as I have shown you before in its architectural, this is a simple design of the roof is simple. Okay, but when you're going to do complicated roof designs, it also becomes complicated. So here you can see the roof beams. You can see the fascia frame, the hidden gutter. Then you can see the specifications here for the purlin, which is 2 by 3 by 1.4 mm in thickness, space at 0.60 on center. So you follow this one. Okay, so it's space at 0.60, so it's drawn in a very light line. Okay, then we have here 2 by 3 by 2 hollow rectangular steel rafter. So these are the rafter slabs. Okay, so the rafters are placed on top of the columns like this one, and also at the side of the firewall. The firewall is this one, the side. Okay. Okay, so I think you got a gist already on how to do your roof framing plan. So it's basically simple. Then as you've noticed again, in our plans we usually do it in 1:50 scale. You can do 1:100, but the problem with the smaller scales is that it can't be that readable at the site. So when you want something to be easily readable by your foreman in the site, you must do it with a bigger scale. Okay, so let's proceed with this sewage. Now plus, you're going to have a separate subject in plumbing design. Okay, but in building tech 2, you're going to learn about how to draw a basic water supply layout and sewerage drainage layout. Okay, so I'll just acquaint you with this one. Okay, so first, in your plumbing plan, you can see your legend. Okay, so in the legend, you're going to write the meaning of the symbols. For example, this symbol here is for the T. Then this symbol is for the 90-degree elbow. This is what you call CV check valve, GV gate valve, CO is your clean out, DS is your downspout, F is for faucet, FD is for floor drain, HB is your hose bib, LAV is for lavatory, SH for shower head, SV for shower valve, ST for septic tank, VTC means vent through ceiling, WC water closet, M with a circle, it's your water meter. Then you have your drainage line, sewerage line, water supply line, air vent. Okay, so let's start with the water supply layout. Okay, so this house is a split level design on a slope block. Okay, so you determine first the source of water. In this case, the source of water is from here. So from the source of water, first you're going to go to your check valve. Okay, I hope you can see that. Then to your meter, then to your gate valve before it goes to a faucet here. Then it goes straight. So when it changes direction, there's a T going to the faucet here. Okay, and there's also a line going to a faucet for your lavatory, for your water closet, and the shower. Okay, there's another line going to with a faucet or a hose bib at this area. Okay, so it's just really simple. Okay, now let's move to your sewerage and drainage layout. Okay, so I hope you can see this. Okay, so this one is more complicated. You can see here there's a symbol for your Petra. So it's going here. Change of direction. You have a clean out. So the purpose of your clean out is if in this junction there's a if something gets stuck here, you can just move the clean out and clean this area and push it. Okay. So here you have an elbow, wide and elbow going to your lavatory, and here's a P-trap, and here is your drain. So from your drain going to your plumbing line here, then you have a separate line for your water closet. Okay, so class, if you can observe, there's a separate line for your water closet and from the gray water. Okay. So waste water from your kitchen sinks, from lavatories, from your floor drains, from the shower, it can be placed in the same system. Okay, the same system that collects water from your downspout. Okay, so you can connect that to your catch basins. Then it goes to the public sewer. While from the water closet, it's a separate line which goes to your septic tank. So your septic tank lasts usually 3 chambers. Okay, I think that's the new kind of septic tank required right now. So if you can observe the sewerage and drainage layout, you can see a lot of catch basins. Okay? So your catch basins, the purpose of this is to collect rainwater also. So from your downspouts, you're going to connect a pipeline to your catch basins, and then from your catch basins here, it's going to the public sewer. Okay, so let's move into the details of your septic tank. So this is another page, class. So this is what you call your plumbing isometric or your sewerage and draining isometry. When you're going to draw in isometric your plumbing design. Okay? So it's the only difference from the plumbing plan is that this is in isometric. So I think you're already taught in your graphics how to do isometric plans. Okay, so just have to project all the lines in an isometric manner. So that will be your sewerage and drainage isometry. Okay, so it will be much clearer this way. You can see the relationships between the plumbing lines. And here you'll also write that general provisions. Okay, for example, in this one, so it's stated here that experienced men under the provision of a licensed sanitary engineer or master plumber shall do all plumbing works. Then all work shall be done in accordance with the latest edition of the Philippine Plumbing Code and shall comply with all applicable rules and regulations of Cagayan de Oro City. All plumbing materials and fixtures shall be of new and approved type in accordance with its location and uses and purposes as much as possible. Conceal all plumbing line in the construction. Then all exposed surfaces must be cleaned and free from grease, dirt, and other foreign materials. Chrome, fittings, trimmings shall be polished on completion of work. Then toilet room shall be locked. After the installation of the fixtures, the use of it shall be prohibited during the progress of construction. And fixtures shall be properly protected from drainage, from damage, and shall be cleaned in accordance with the manufacturer. So here you can see the catch basin details. So this is the section for it. So it's size, its width is 500 mm and its depth is 500. Then you have an 8-inch concrete pipe or culvert which connects the different catch basins. Okay, so it's made of CHB, and this is the top catch basin plan. It's still 0.5 by 0.5. Okay, then another important thing to do in your plumbing is to make your septic tank plan. Here you can see the size and dimensions, and also in the manhole. So we have here the size is 2.9 by 1.2, which is the standard, and the size of the manholes, which is 0.5 by 0.5. So there's a see here your digestive chamber, the leaching chamber, and the gravel bed chamber. Okay, then you can see the septic tank section. So this is the section of your septic tank. Okay, here your digestive, leaching, and then the gravel bed chamber. Okay, so I think the latest right now, class, in the past I think I've seen 2 chambered septic tanks, but right now I think the minimum requirements, especially for subdivisions, is 3 chamber. Okay. Then you also have several details showing your water closet, basin, showing air chamber, etc. I think it will be discussed with your instructor in plumbing on the principles where there's an air cap. So here, this is an air cap. Okay. So the size of your septic tank class, the size of your catch basins, it depends upon how many users will use the house or building. I think it will be further discussed in your building utility subject, which is plumbing. Okay, so I think you have now a gist of what your plumbing and structural base section looks like. Okay, so this is a 20 by 30 plan class in tracing paper. Okay, so if we had a class, face-to-face class instead of an online class, I would have required you to use tracing paper, but now since now we're in a pandemic, I think I just accept any paper as long as you do your sewerage and isometric, septic tank sections, and the other details right. Okay, so if you have any questions, class, please send a message, and don't forget to ask if you are in doubt. Okay, so I'll see you next meeting, and thank you.